And let's get it in. Let's get it in. What's up, melanated family? What's up, melanated family? Your brother Harrison, the melanated convo. Good Friday evening. How's everybody doing? Right? Y'all ready for the weekend? You feel me? What we doing this weekend, y'all? Some of y'all, what y'all doing? Y'all clubbing? Y'all going to the winery? Y'all chilling with the kids? Sports events with the kids? You feel me? Once you get older, it once you start getting older, it changes a little bit. But in any case, I'm happy to be here, family. Welcome to the Melanated Convo YouTube channel. Welcome to the Melanated Convo podcast. You feel me? So look, something I want to touch on real quick. I'm sure by now everybody's seen the video of the 8-year-old boy being apprehended by police in Syracuse, right? So by looking at the video, from what we're told, in Syracuse, a young 8-year-old black child stole some chips, supposedly, right? So supposedly he stole some chips from the store, and the police was called. To give you more of a backstory, apparently the little boy and his brothers steal from the local stores frequently, to the point where the cops in the area know his father. The commanding officer, maybe a month before this took place, a commanding officer went to his house, supposedly, like on some a peace treaty type situation. Go to the house, talk to the father, gave the kids like badges, right? So I'm reading that story thinking, okay, that's what we want to see police officers do, right? Like a kid steals something, you bring them home, you go to the house, you meet the family, you humanize the situation so you can put the kid in the best position to be successful in life, right? Like hearing the commander speak this way, I'm thinking, okay, they know these kids, they have empathy for them, they have camaraderie with them, you know what I mean? But what I want to do real quick, family, is play the video. This is the first time, I just got this actual video where of the incident, and it's the officer's cam. Like the other video we seen, or the other video I seen, was an innocent bystander who recorded everything because he just, the optics didn't look right. Seeing an 8-year-old boy being grabbed like that by cops, he's yelling and screaming, so it didn't look right. You know what I mean? But I want to show y'all the full video. This is why I say they bullshit, because they tried to clean it up by saying they know the little boy, they've spoken to his father before. The commanding officer went by the boy's house and gave him a badge, and trying to create camaraderie. But watch these officers. These officers, if that was the case, these officers didn't get the memo, or they weren't there. You feel me? So look how these police officers treat this 8-year-old black child. So this is actually a baby, right? When we look at our fractured relationship with police departments across the country, these type of moments speak volumes to just the type of relationship we have. Watch how these officers treat this baby, y'all. Let's take a look.
What are you doing?
Oh yeah, because I'm not gonna find him there.
See, so the kid threw the chips, right? So obviously he stole the bag of chips. We'll get to his parents' level of responsibility here in a minute. But you see him throw the chips, right? Look at that. Wait. Stop right there. That erases any type of kumbaya, any type of situation where you want to paint the picture to us that you are in cahoots with his parents and his father, and you because he's been stealing, or been known at this point for stealing from the stores in the local area. You guys have a little empathy for him, like him, so his situation. That's how it sounded, right? This fucking police officer just dumped. I need y'all to watch this again, family. This is serious. Black family, understand how important it is to prepare our children for situations with the police. Understand how important it is to prepare our kids with structure and discipline, so a goddamn police officer don't got to. You feel me? So check this out one more time. He gets a bag of chips. He dumps the bag of chips on an 8-year-old child. Family, I wouldn't do this to any race of child. Like any race of child. You feel me? You dump the damn... Come on, man. Come on, man. We see what we're looking at, right?
Where are you going? Didn't we just go through this? Didn't we just go through?
Okay, so if we are to believe that the officers in this area know this boy and his family, look at his posture. Look at how he's speaking to this fucking 8-year-old kid. Does that sound like it's with love? Does that sound like somebody who knows his pops and want to make sure he don't go down the wrong road and be a criminal or anything of that regard? Does it sound like there's any love in that statement at all? You see what I'm saying? So this is the problem, because we look at the dilapidated community, right? We look at the community. There's no way officers who do not live around or live in the community should police us. We're always going to deal with these type of issues because we have individuals who do not live in the community, not from the community, so they're criminalizing all of us. Let's take a look a little bit more.
This? You were crying in the backseat of my car? Remember that? Get off your bike. Get off your bike. Hey.
It wasn't me.
This is when a brother's gonna see this part of the interaction and film the film what he sees as he should. But if you know his father, if you know where his father lives, let this boy ride his bike home. Meet him there to speak to his father. Do cops not understand how traumatizing it is to put a child this small inside of a back of a police car? Like, do they understand how traumatic just for any age of person being in the back of a police car? So what are we actually doing here? Because one of these officers, when from the other footage, the innocent bystander, the brother was talking to the cop about what he was doing. The cop told him basically they're stopping him from stealing chips so he doesn't rob them later. So he doesn't rob people in the community later. This is a level of criminalization when it comes to our babies, y'all. Watch a little bit more of this damn video.
Get off your bike. Get off. Come on. Come on.
Hey,
Stop.
get over here.
So these don't seem like young men who trust these cops. They're trying to cover this shit up, saying that the officers in the community have been working with this family. The little boys, not just this boy, but him and his brothers repeatedly steal from the store around there, which could be true. But if we're gonna forge a relationship where the police in this country want us to feel as if they're really there to protect and serve, you have to protect. You have to humanize situations. They shouldn't be scared of you if they know you, right? If they're familiar with you because of whatever, they shouldn't be scared, right?
Stop. You know why you hate it? Because you keep doing it.
That wasn't
And the little boy's yelling or whatever.
me. What are you doing?
That's what I'm doing.
See, and the boy's crying after stealing from the store, so it ain't like they're physically hurting him, but this is too much. This is too much. Let him ride his bike home. You drive by him. You drive right next to him. There's several different ways you can handle this situation. Y'all should have his pop's phone number. Call his pops. Call him. Your son, he up at the store stealing. Can you come get him? Let's talk, whatever the case may be, right?
That's what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing. I just see you snatching my
You
phone.
don't know.
So what's going on then?
And another thing, excuse me, family, if we are to forge a relationship with these intruders that we always find in our neighborhoods, you can't talk to people like that. This brother, he deserves to know what's going on. He's just asking, hey, it don't look cool how you treating that little brother. What's up? He's spiteful. He's arrogant. He's aggressive. This is the type of temperament we always have to face in our community. A lot of times people tell me, hey, Harrison, police don't kill unarmed black people as much as people say they do, or it doesn't happen as often as you would think. Here's the thing. It happens too much, for one. And two, these are the type of interactions that we have to deal with when it comes to police for the most part. A lot of one-on-one dealings where you hear the disrespect, where you hear the anguish, like you can tell he don't like you. You can tell they don't want to be there. You know what I mean?
If he breaks into your house and steals something, nah, man, we stole a bag of chips, so y'all treat me like a whole cold-blooded fucking killer?
And this is a bag of chips. So let me, because listen, if we're trying to help a possible troubled youth and you're a cop, you have to coordinate it with the parents. If you want to help them, let's say you want to tell the father, look, boom, next time he steal, I'm gonna put him in a police car and make him think he going to jail. Maybe we can try some, a scared straight type tactic. But this is something you would coordinate with his father, right? Like this is all coordinated with the father, since y'all want to make it seem like y'all on such good terms. And then they didn't handcuff the boy. That was one of the rumors that was going around, that the young man was handcuffed. He wasn't handcuffed, right? So he wasn't handcuffed. They brought him home. The dad was cool with it. Supposedly, they brought him home, had a good conversation with the father. The father didn't see the video, though. Once the father seen the video, then he spoke to the fact that, okay, you guys may have mistreated my son. And I'm sure maybe when they got to the house, they took some of the energy off, because here he's dumping chips on a little boy. He wouldn't do that shit in front of his pops. You know what I mean? Or would he? Shit.
I know what I just came up with.
Okay, that's it, family. So no more of that. So here's the thing. Black parents. It's important for black parents to realize, my melanated parents realize, if you don't, and again, I don't know the household this black kid comes from. I don't know the structure of the household. All I know is there's a father, right? So this is in general terms. Sometimes we forget the fact that if we don't create discipline in our households with our children, if we don't create discipline, if we don't create like a sense of structure, it's vital that you do so, because if not, the system that we live in may just do it for you. Melanated family, listen to me closely. If you don't make sure your children are disciplined, if you don't make sure they're aware of the environment, they're aware of police interactions and how things can go. If they're not aware of this shit, anything can happen out here in these streets. And to a large degree, that's your fault. Like our children should be prepared. This little boy, let's just say, let's believe all of the news stories we've heard so far. If this little boy has a problem stealing, right? Police will arrive. I didn't like the interaction I seen with the cops, whatever. As a father, you got to look at this and say, okay, what's going on? Is it because of the lack of resources? Is he just a little klepto? Is he acting out? Like, you have to address this so the system doesn't have to address it for you. The cops didn't handcuff this young man. They just brought him to the house. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. We've seen 12-year-old, 13-year-old black kids get killed by the cops before. So, yeah, I don't like how these cops dealt with this little 8-year-old boy. That's a baby. He dumping chips on an 8-year-old boy. We know how these cops give it up, though. Like, it's unfortunate that I think this way, but to see a really, really positive interaction with a police officer in this type of environment, like the type of neighborhood I just showed you that they was raised in or that they live in, that's shocking to me almost, because you want to tell us all cops ain't bad. And I get the idea, but how do we know who's bad and who isn't? Right? Like the cop just mentioned, basically telling the innocent bystander, we're stopping him from stealing these chips now so he don't rob you later. What the fuck are you saying? Are you saying he's prone to be a criminal? White police officer. You see what I'm saying? So look, of course, I don't like what this cop did, but black family, if this boy continually has been caught stealing, that's one thing. Like, his pops need to get a grip on what's actually going on with him, right? Is it a mental thing? am I not providing him enough food? Like, am I not being resourceful enough? Like, what is it? That's one thing. And then the second thing, like, we got to make sure he's 8 years old. Why is he walking to the store by himself when he's 8 years old? This is how I think as a parent, family. Like, we have to be a little bit more protective. Like, and I don't know if that's the case with this little boy, but all too often, when I'm in different neighborhoods around my city and I'm looking and I'm around my people, I see a little boy with no shoes on, hair ain't brushed. He's 6, 7 years old, running wherever the fuck he want to run to. He ain't got no curfew. He ain't got no rules. He ain't got no structure. What do you think is going to happen with this young man? If you unleash your goddamn child on all of us, what do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to be left to correct his ways? It's either going to be somebody out here in the street or it's going to be the police. So this 8-year-old boy, the optics of the video, in my opinion, family, looked a little bit worse than it was. The officers were assholes. They were militant, like we are to expect them to be, right? But when are we going to get this through our head? Like, seeing police mistreat us, unfortunately, is nothing new. It's about time that us as a family say, you know what? What could I do to put myself in the best position to not have to go through some of this? Because to a certain degree, you can't avoid it. But your 8-year-old son walking up to a store and stealing, you can avoid that. Because if he don't got like a mental issue, or you are providing him with lunch and you have the resources to give him the food he needs and he's still stealing, now it's time for tough love. Now it's time to beat his ass. Now it's time to institute something extremely serious in his life and make him feel it. Now, some parents feel like when they do institute tough love, or they're hard on their kids, they don't like to see their kids sad. They don't like to see them mad or hurt because of whatever the punishment may be. But you rather them feel hurt from you than them feel hurt from a police officer or a vigilante or somebody outside of your home. You feel me? We have to treat our house like your house is, and I always say this, but this is worth reiterating. Your house is like your own little country, right? The rules, the bylaws, who's in charge, the structure, everything is created by you, right? Everything is created by you. This is before your kid goes outside. We all understand how the world is. We all understand how troublesome it can be just socializing in America and being out there like that, right? We understand that. But your household is a training ground for all of these things. Right? Your household should be a training ground for all of these things. And if you melanated, you should have a vested interest in making sure your children understand the relationship between us in this goddamn country. Figure out a way to do it. I don't give a figure out a way to do it. Wait till Black History Month come and unload it then. Like, you use 5 minutes a day to kind of go over different facts about our history. Your kids should be well aware of what's happened to us, and we can't act like a lot of the dysfunction that we see, like a lot of the young men around our cities who kill each other, who harm each other in a particular way. We can't act like these type of individuals aren't bred. Like they don't just pop out of nowhere and be a 19, 20, 21-year-old young dude who hella violent, who don't care about living or dying. That's a process. He didn't just get like that. You see what I'm saying? So we like seeing that 8-year-old boy in that video. Yeah, it was jarring initially, but another thing we also got to make sure we continue to do, or try to do better, is give things a minute. Like, make sure you have all the context available. Make sure you have all the information available before you just jump out there, because sometimes watching a 30-second clip of something won't tell the full story if you don't see what happened before or what happened after. You know what I mean? They didn't handcuff the kid. He was just yelling. Like, I don't know if it was because he felt pain or whatever. He was just yelling. Who knows what that was? But at the end of the day, these cops showed no empathy. These cops didn't leave a lasting impression on this kid. Like, it didn't seem like they liked him. They made it seem like the officers in this area has been to this boy's house and they know him, but the acting commissioner or the commissioner in the area is making it a point to say, hey, we've been to the house, we've given the little boys badges, we've tried to, you know what I mean, make sure they understand that this is a community. But he also went on to mention that they have a stealing problem, basically, that obviously it's a problem, is what he says. You see what I'm saying? So black parents, don't put yourself in a position where the authorities have to discipline your kid. We understand how hard it is anyway. Like when we don't do nothing wrong, we get fucked with. Don't make it worse. Like we need to realize that a lot of the things we see in this country, police brutality, some of the genocide, some of the financial endeavors that we find ourselves in, like how we are financially, we can be accountable. Like it's nothing wrong with acknowledging both things. Like I always say, yes, there's a system in place that has disenfranchised us and continue to do it, depending on what sector in life you're in. And there's a level of accountability every adult should muster up when it comes to taking care of your kids, when it comes to being financially astute, when it comes to all of these things, knowing our history, all of these things, right? These are things you can do yourself. So yeah, the cops were wrong for manhandling that 8-year-old boy. But unfortunately, in this situation, family, because as you can see on the screen, it says who should be held accountable. Of course, the authority figures should be held accountable for their interactions with the public. But we can't rely on the cops to make changes. Like we can't rely on the cops to hold themselves accountable. That shit don't be happening all the time. So at times, well, shit, all the time, we got to look at each other and say, okay, let's look at this 100% of the situation. Who was involved? Like who's actually accountable? And in this situation, this little boy's dad, because he has a father, this little boy's dad need to pay more attention to where the hell his kids go when they leave the house. If it's true that these little boys been stealing from the store repeatedly, you're setting your son up to get murdered. You're setting your son up to have all of these interactions with the cops to now he think it's normal, to now he, because of how the cops treat him, he do think he a criminal. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you may be raised in a particular area. It may be hard for you based on whatever, right? But that shit don't matter at the end of the day. If you had to be on drugs, if you ain't got a job, if you, all of the ailments that come from being an adult in this world, there's really no excuse. Like I empathize with you a little bit. You feel me? But it ain't no excuse. It ain't no excuse to raise children that don't know how to conduct themselves in society. And when they don't know how to conduct themselves, it affects all of us. It trickle down and affects all of us. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we make these children and they have all of these issues. And at times we forget how they got that way. You see what I'm saying? We try to recuse ourselves like that was a long time ago. Nah. So this young brother, the 8-year-old kid, his father need to whoop his ass. That's what needs to happen. His father need to whoop his ass and he need to put him on some type of strict punishment, removing what he likes, whatever that may be. That's one of the biggest things you can do to a kid. I don't think children should be like get a serious ass whooping hella times in their life, like pants down, belt, making them cry hella much. Like I don't know how effective that is, just to be completely honest. Now there should be a healthy amount of fear between you and your child. I believe that. Like your kids shouldn't be just scared of you, but they should be scared of what you might do. You see what I'm saying? I think that could be a healthy thing, but we can't just allow our children to run amok and then act like we don't know what's going on when something happens to them. You see what I'm saying? Or act like we want to get a sign and protest about a cop killing our son, or black on black crime, as some like to put it, but you didn't read to him. You didn't make sure that he had all the resources he need to thrive in this world. You put him in a horrible environment. Like, let's all begin to take accountability for the position that we're in this country. You feel me? So this is your brother Harrison, man, the Melanated Convo. Tonight at 7, brand new interview with the brother Dwight Taylor Sr. If you know anybody struggling with communication, if you have a teenager who going through something, like as far as not talking to you, not being open as far as communication is concerned. This episode is all about communication. So at 7 p.m., me and my brother Dwight Taylor on the Melanated Fathers, I'm sorry, the Melanated Convo YouTube channel. The digital platforms is already available now, but this is a great interview. If you have any problems communicating, like in your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your partner, tune in to this interview tonight at 7 p.m. Me and my brother Dwight go in and drop a whole bunch of gems about the importance of like communicating, the importance of being Black men in our community and representing us in totality, like going out in the world and doing great things can affect all of us in a positive manner, right? So just bigging each other up and speaking about, he has a couple books out. He has a online course that he just dropped, I think Monday the 18th. So man, check in with us, man. Come rock with us tonight, 7 p.m. The Melanated Convo. All the digital platforms, you can find it now. You feel me? So like this video, share this video. This is your brother Harrison, the Melanated Convo. I'm out.